Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and respect the national anthems.
Very good evening to you from Stadium MK. Thank you for joining us here on BBC Sport for this international friendly between England women and the USA. I'd like to say I'm joined this evening for co-commentary by England international and Doncaster Rovers Bells forward Sue Smith. Sue, fantastic atmosphere here at Stadium MK. A bit of a sparse crowd, but a huge game for England women.
Oh, it's a huge game, and especially after the Germany result, I think they want to put things right now. I think they want to go into this game and show that they can perform against one of the best teams in the world, and I think that's exactly what they need to do, and I think that's something that they've been working on since the Germany game.
Absolutely. Well, Germany now leapfrog USA into #1 in the FIFA World Rankings. So USA is second. So really, England, they're taking on the big teams in women's world football. Let's go through the teams first. England, Karen Bardsley in goal, the back four, Demi Stokes, Jo Potter, Steph Houghton, Alex Scott. Two central midfielders, Jill Scott and Laura Bassett. I think on the right-hand side, Karen Carney, on the left, Jordan Nobbs. And two up front. Quite surprising team selection here. Two fairly inexperienced players in terms of international experience. Fran Kirby and Jodie Taylor, each with 3 caps each for England. Fran Kirby, only 21 years old, scored on her debut in the wonderful 4-0 win against Sweden up in Hartlepool. Jodie Taylor, well, she's 28, but she's only, again, as I say, only got 3 caps. She plays her football in America, so perhaps Mark Sampson maybe thought she could add some would be a wise head against the USA team this evening. So that's 5 changes from the team that lost 3-0 against Germany. A few surprises there for you, Sue?
I think so, and when we were looking at the team, we were trying to put them into some sort of formation, and I think by looking at the team, it looks for me that they're going to go 4-4-2. I think he's obviously looked against Germany, and I think where we struggled slightly were defensively. I think the Germans got at us, especially in midfield. We had a lot of creativity, but we didn't have 2 or 3 players to just hold and stop Germany from penetrating through. And I think the likes of Jill Scott and Jo Potter, both of them strong. We've got a little bit of height, and they've got a little bit of something about them. So hopefully those two will be. I would say Jo Potter will probably sit a little bit more. Jill Scott's more of a box-to-box player, and then you've obviously got Karen Carney and Jordan Nobbs either side of them, and they're the creativity. They'll be the ones going forward and making things happen. So yes, it was a bit of a surprise, but it'd be quite interesting to see how this bunch do.
Absolutely. So a lot of changes for Mark Sampson, definitely a bit more of an experienced side who are playing the USA. The USA incidentally lost their last game against France just on Sunday, not in great form. Only one win in their last 5. They've made 2 changes to the side that lost 2-0 to France on Sunday. Ali Krieger comes in right back, and perhaps more importantly for England, Abby Wambach comes in up front. Absolutely huge player in many respects. The all-time record goal scorer for America. 233 appearances, 177 goals in that time. Wonderful record.
Oh, she really is, and I think you can go through the whole USA team and you know the players. You know, it's such a big game over there, and I think that's something that the England players, they need to not be overawed by them. They need to go into this game and take the game to them. I think if you let America play, I think that's where they'll start causing England problems.
Well, we're just about set for the action here at Stadium MK. USA will kick us off in this international friendly. Can see Mark Sampson all suited and booted, ready for kick-off here on BBC Sport, and we're off. Incidentally, you'll be able to see highlights of this match on the BBC app and website, bbc.co.uk/sport, at the conclusion of this game. And Steph Houghton just makes a bit of hash of that header. Here's Carly Lloyd trying to make things happen in the England penalty area already, and that was a long ball dealt with in the end by England, but already USA on the attack on the far side, and we'll have a crossing opportunity here, and it's just gone out over the top of Karen Bardsley's bar for a goal kick. Positive start by the USA. England in the end managed to deal with that. Incidentally, I must say that Karen Bardsley, born in the USA, but always said she dreamt of playing for England as a child. English-born parents, of course. So,
yeah, that's true. They're from Manchester, actually. So obviously, her playing for Manchester City club football, I think that works out quite well for her now.
Although
but yeah,
I think I read they're Man United fans. So.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, they won't be happy about that then.
But a good attack by the USA, looking to make amends after that 2-0 defeat to France. Another heavyweight of the women's game will probably go far in the Women's World Cup in Canada, just 4 months away. Wambach heads the ball on to the left-hand side to Carly Lloyd, nodded away on the far side by Demi Stokes, and a long ball forward, which Fran Kirby can use her pace and try and run onto. Doesn't quite get there. Fran Kirby, the only player in the squad to be playing in the WSL 2, signed a pro contract with Reading, became the first woman to do that for that club. I think she probably had the opportunity to perhaps play a bit higher, but she opted to stay with her hometown club she's been with since she was in single figures. So it's really a difficult decision.
Yeah, it's actually really nice to see that loyalty as well. The fact that I'm sure she had offers from a lot of WSL 1 clubs, but the fact that she stayed with them, and you know, she's been given the opportunity to go full-time professional, and she probably thinks that Reading have got a really good chance of getting promoted next year.
And another long ball over the top. You can see exactly what the USA are doing. They look like a fairly tall team, so they're using their height. A bit of a loose touch by Jill Scott. It was Jodie Taylor who was taken down there. Wins a free kick for her side. And she's made the move from the Washington Spirit to Portland Thorns ahead of the new season in the USA. And will be facing her old goalkeeper Ashton Harris, who's just making her 6th appearance for the USA this evening. She said she'd love to get one past her former goalkeeper. Still yet to score in her 3 appearances, now 4 for England. And USA can pick up the pieces from that England free kick. England haven't really got going as of yet, Sue Smith.
They haven't at all, and this is exactly what America do. You know, they're very direct. They like to play the long ball in behind, and like you say, they've got height up front, and that's what they do. And they've also got pace. So if they can play the long ball into the channels and hit England as quick as they can, that's what they'll do.
Ali Krieger crossed there, and a bit of an awkward one, just bobbled up in front of Laura Bassett, who in the end managed to clear it out for a corner. But this is a dangerous situation for England. They conceded from a corner against Germany. That was the first goal. Just 3 minutes gone here at Stadium MK, still 0-0. The first corner of the game will go to the USA. And it's Lauren Holiday who's come up from the centre midfield position to take this one. It's a low driven cross, and England just about managed to clear it, but only as far as Morgan Bryan. Heavily challenged there. Referee says nothing doing. Carly Lloyd tries to keep the ball in on the far side.
was a little bit risky from Jill Scott. I think, you know, she sort of dived in. I think she's seen the ball, but you know, it could have been given as a free kick, and that would be a dangerous position.
Yeah, Jill Scott, she's extremely tall. She's a bit like Inspector Gadget. So it's
Peter
legs,
Crouch,
yeah, those legs keep going, and perhaps she doesn't quite know the length of them. She's got to be careful there.
Yeah, that's a nickname, Crouchy.
Crouchy. So she scores a couple of goals like Peter Crouch. He's in good form for Stoke City. Anyway, we're here for England women's game, and actually the defeat against Germany was only Mark Sampson's second since he took over in December 2013. But a lot of those games, of course, were played in the stunning World Cup qualifying campaign against teams that really should be beating, which England did.
Yeah, I think so, and these are the real tests. The America, the Germans, you know, the French. They're the teams that England need to play before they play the World Cup.
Intercepted by Scott inside to Taylor. She's got runners with Karen Carney. Maybe take on the right back Hindenburg. Still Karen Carney, just about keeps it in the touchline, and back to Demi Stokes, another one who's played football in the USA but has signed for Manchester City this season. Great play by England. Now here's Frank Kirby into the penalty area. Still Kirby. Perhaps could have gone down there. Mark Sampson was appealing, but she stood up well, and back to Karen Carney. He's got two for company, but in the end has shouldered off the ball. But it's a throw into England, right down by the corner flag. The first really good incisive play by England on this near side.
It really was. It was a nice, neat bit of play. Demi Stokes involved, playing a nice, neat ball into Jodie Taylor, and Jodie Taylor, Karen Carney, you know, Frank Kirby, they can all get at players, and I think that's what they can do, especially out wide against America.
Frank Kirby turns away brilliantly and lays the ball back to Karen Carney, tries to find an incisive pass, and again America clear their lines. It's another throw-in, and you can hear the crowd getting right behind England as soon as they go on the attack. It happened at Wembley against Germany. Unfortunately that didn't happen an awful lot, but the crowd were right behind England every time they surged forward, and it's the same here, Stadium MK.
And as a player, that gives you so much of a lift when you hear the roar of the crowd.
Debbie Stokes trying to get something going here for England. USA just nodded away, and it will fall for Jill Scott, who scuffs her shot, but that's the first shot in anger for England this evening. It was in a decent position. It didn't quite sit up for her, but positive signs for England.
It is, yeah, and that's what Jill Scott will do. She'll adopt those positions just so she'll sit. She's got the energy, she's got the engine to get box to box. So she'll be back defending, and the next minute she'll just end up in a forward position, and she's got that ability, like we said, like Peter Crouch. She can score goals, so it'd be nice if she could put one in tonight.
Jill Scott picking up her 87th cap this evening. A very experienced player. Has played in a couple of World Cups for England as well. Made her debut in 2006. So a number of experienced players being recalled by Mark Sampson for this evening's game. I think that was the major criticism against Germany, perhaps a little bit naive, a little bit too attacking, and picked off at will in the end. And it's really these sorts of teams that England are going to have to come up against in the World Cup. Nodded on by Wambach, trying to find Alex Morgan, who was the runner. Well defended by England. And Frank Kirby, what a turn by Kirby. That's exactly what she does, getting away from her player. Kirby plays in Jodie Taylor, a bit far out wide, into the penalty area. Taylor, a couple of step-overs, maybe look for a shooting position. And it wasn't the right decision, but it might fall here. Another England player, and it's, well, not on the same wavelength at all there. That was Jo Potter surging forward. And it was I'm not sure if she was trying to find the pass or shoot. I don't think that was a shot, but much better from England, and the crowd are really getting up here at Milton Keynes.
Yeah, she's a little bit in two minds there, Jodie Taylor. It was a fantastic move from Frank Kirby, and that's exactly what she can do. She gets the crowd on their feet, because little turning between two players and she's away, and you know, for me, she's potentially could be a fantastic player.
You know, she did the exact same thing against Arsenal in that Continental Cup game last season, and in the end scored it herself. And those little turns, she's so quick, and quick feet as well, unbelievable. That was fantastic from Frank Kirby there.
And intelligent as well. You know, she'd done that little bit of a move, but then found Jodie Taylor out wide, and for her age, she plays with experience.
So England coming into the game a bit more now. Did last play the USA at Brisbane Road in 2011 for a warm-up game for the World Cup in 2011, which England won 2-1 in front of a crowd of just under 6,000. We understand there's been about 15,000 tickets sold for this evening's game. Just shows in a fairly short space of time, Sue, that quite a lot more interest.
Definitely, and obviously the Wembley game showed that, the fact that it was a sellout for what they could actually sell on the day, and the appetite for women's football is getting better and better. And I think we just need to keep being successful. If they can have a good World Cup, I think it'll then carry on and continue that momentum onto hopefully the leagues and further internationals. But yeah, it shows that people want to now watch women's football, which is great.
The upcoming WSL season nearly upon us. Though Sue's been in deep training for Doncaster Rose Bell's campaign to get into the WSL 1. But here's Demi Stokes, another one recruited over the summer by Manchester City. Stokes she's been 4 years, she's been in college in America playing for the South Florida Bulls, and now signed for the last year's Continental Cup champions, Manchester City, who will definitely be ones to watch for the title this season. So USA clear their lines, and it's a bit of a rough challenge there by Joe Potter, and the referee gives the foul to the USA. Just judging from the USA fans, so just having a look on social media, I think they've slightly adjusted their expectations. A lot of them are saying that a lot of other countries are catching up with them now. They were the kind of pioneers of women's football, dominated absolutely everything, but now you've got England, you've got France, Germany, a lot of fantastic teams coming up and matching them.
Yeah, definitely. And I think America they've always been super fit, as in aerobically, their pace, their strength, and they've really worked hard on that. But now other countries are starting to do that. So those technical countries that are now as fit as the Americans, the likes of France, who obviously beat them on Sunday, they are catching up, and they're actually overtaking them at times. And for me, France were outstanding. They would be definitely a good bet if you're a betting person for the World Cup, because yeah, they were excellent, and it looked like they were world champions when watching them at times.
And France, well, England were supposed to play France in a friendly, but drawn against them in the World Cup group stages, so that's going to be one tough match in Canada. But these games against Germany and USA will stand them in good stead. It's another wayward ball by the USA. You can see what they're trying to do. They're playing fairly direct, but England have dealt with it so far. And England growing into the game just slightly, definitely had the more clear-cut opportunities. But it looks like USA just slightly edged it on possession so far, with 11 minutes gone. And here's Jordan Nobbs on the far side, tricky Arsenal player. And Jodie Taylor tries to close down the USA. They come away with the ball. Got a lot of space on this near side with Ali Krieger, one of the players recalled after that 2-0 defeat to France on Sunday.
Yeah, you can see England have definitely got a game plan. They've got the solid four at the back, they've got the solid four in the middle, and then you've got Jodie and Fran Kirby are working really hard as a two together, so they're staying very compact when America have got the ball, and then they're trying to hit them on the counter-attack.
Morgan Bryan into Ali Krieger, who's forced to go back by Demi Stokes, exchanging passes. And another wayward pass by the USA, goes straight out for a goal kick. Been a lot of those for Karen Barsley already. Not quite finding their passing range so far, the USA. Just one win in their last 5, which, as we were saying, may not be so bad for some teams, but for the USA standards, that's pretty bad, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. And I've read lots of interviews, and they've been saying it's only a preparation phase, and that the main competition is the World Cup, which is true. And as long as they're in form for that, then that's the main thing. But it's still worrying, I think, like you say, for America, because they normally win all their games, so they must be slightly concerned, and I think they'll want to put that right for this game especially.
Well, Steph Houghton was clattered there, and she's still down, and the referee still hasn't stopped the game. She is going to now. A late challenge on Steph Houghton there, and the England captain, she's a tough cookie. She wouldn't stay down unless she was really hurt. She's gingerly getting up to her feet now. I think that was a high leg from the USA.
Yeah, I think she's actually winded. I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
Yeah, she's a northeast girl. She's tall.
Well, still goalless here at Stadium MK. And I'm not sure what the referee will do here, but probably will be a dropped ball. But a decent start for England. We will keep saying it is a friendly, but the result, it could bear some significance, and the performance, but also the result.
Yeah, it's good. You want those results in friendly games, and I think obviously you look at the Germany game, and that was a disappointment. The fact that they got beat 3-0, and I don't think anybody expected that because they'd played so well up until that. But that was the first real test that they'd had, so they now want to show this is what they can do against number 2 in the world, and so they will want that. They'll want that confidence to then take into the tournament.
We've got a mini break here at Stadium MK. The England players are coming over, just taking some drinks, because it's Karen Bardsley who's down now receiving treatment. Not sure what she's done, but we've got have got some reserve keepers for. I think we've got Carly Telford and Siobhan Chamberlain on the bench, just in case that Karen Bardsley can't continue. Both fairly experienced players, but Karen Bardsley definitely the England's number 1, and receiving quite extensive treatment and limping just slightly.
I wonder whether she rolled her ankle when she was taking a goal kick, because she seemed to sort of go down quite gingerly, and it looks like are they treating her ankle?
It looks like it. Just finding it hard to put weight on it. Looks like she will carry on. See how it goes, but there's obviously no point in risking her if she is injured. With the as I say, with the Women's Super League season coming up, she was a key player in that Manchester City side, especially in that Continental Cup final. She was absolutely outstanding.
She is, and she just showed exactly what she can do, and she is a presence. She's athletic, she can come for crosses, and she's a leader as well. Her communication skills to the defenders, they'll tell you how important that is.
Well, she's just testing out her ankle, but she looks okay now. We'll keep an eye on that. But USA come forward. Becky Sauerbrunn. Another long ball, nodded on. And Alex Scott makes a bit of a meal of that. Played into the path of Abby Wambach. Again, not quite on the same wavelength. She does give the thumbs up to Kristen Press. But again, not really linking up at the moment.
And I think that's credit to England, the way that they're defending and the shape that they've kept. I think they're making it difficult for the Americans to find passes, which you've got Jill Scott and you've got Jo Potter in there, and they're constantly harrying and making them rush their passes, so they're not as quality as what they usually would be.
Scott wins the header and the free kick on the halfway line for England. Thanks for being with us on BBC Sport. Robin Cowan alongside me, Sue Smith, for commentary. And the band struck up here, as we usually hear at England games. Bit of a Marmite thing, the band. Some people love it, some people hate it. As the ball is launched long over the head of the white shirts, picked up though by Potter, and now Jill Scott turning away from the challenge, playing the ball out wide to Alex Scott. Bit of a loose touch by Scott, put out for a throw-in to England, and Alex Scott will take the throw-in. One of just a handful of England players who've reached 100 caps. Alex Scott, 118th today. So Jill Scott tries to carve out a crossing opportunity on the far side, shepherded away though easily by the USA, and it'll be a goal kick. Aisling Harris, who is deputising in place of Hope Solo, who was mysteriously suspended from a recent training camp by the USA. It's been a bit of speculation around here, but we won't be we won't delve into that too much.
We won't talk. We won't say
we're not
gossip.
No, we'll keep our mouths shut. But a massive miss for them though, immensely experienced.
Yeah, so experienced and a fantastic keeper. But I've got to say, I watched Aisling Harris against France and she was very good.
She did make some very good stops. USA with a cross in, nodded away by Horton. And Kirby tries to get her foot to the ball, but the USA pick up the pieces. Inside to Morgan Bryant. Now all the way back to Sauerbrunn. Now Whitney Engen, who is one of the only player in the USA squad who's had any WSL experience, helped Liverpool to the WSL title in 2013. A bit of a mistouch by Carney, but it is got away in the end by Potter. And Jodie Taylor chases that one, puts it out for a throw-in on the halfway line to the USA. Mark Sampson clapping. He'll be pretty satisfied so far with England's display.
Yeah, I think he's got his tactics right so far, so I think he'll be happy. You don't want to concede early. You know, that was the mistake against Germany. And I think the plus side, obviously we've beaten America, and I think that it definitely was a psychological factor against Germany, the fact that we've never actually beaten them, and you could see that was in the players' heads. Oh, we're 1-0 down, and you know, I know exactly how that feels. Whereas when you've beaten a team, you have something that you know you can maybe overcome. So I think the girls will have that in the back of their heads, that we have actually beaten this team. So there's no reason why we can't do it again.
Yep, last time was in 2011, 2-1 win at Brisbane Road. The scorer was Rachel Yankee, who is not really part of the England setup anymore. And the other one,
it's actually Jess Clark.
Jess Clark, who's on the bench today.
My ex-roomie. She did tell me that as well in a text. Just, you know, she probably wanted me to say
remind you. Well, there you go. Jess Clark on the bench, could come on for a bit more firepower if England need it this evening. Top scorer for Notts County last season. Here's Alex Morgan battling for the ball just outside the penalty area. Cleared once again by England. Look much more strong defensively already, even though we haven't had too much time played here. Chance for USA though. Body's on the line by England. Fantastic block. Two players throwing the body in front of the ball to close down the shot. And in the end cleared by Jordan Nobbs.
I tell you what, that is what Laura Bassett's about. She absolutely just threw her body in the way of the ball to stop that going in, and that's what you'll get from her every single game. You'll get 110%, and I think that's why she's in the team tonight, because you know that with her and with Steph, they'll put their body on the line, and they need to be strong and physical because of Abby Wambach, because she is a powerful player.
Back in the England fold. It's a trait of Mark Sampson. He really doesn't take into account position, age, where you are in the league. If you're good and if you can do a job for the team, then he'll pick you. Alex Morgan there just stopped when she had her toe stamped on. I mean, who among us hasn't had our toe stamped on playing football?
Hey, it is a cold night though. They do hurt, don't they? But yeah, that's quite surprising.
She's furious. She wanted a foul. I don't think so. She's getting a high five from Jordan Nobbs, who was the culprit. doesn't look very happy. She kind of reluctantly put her hand out there. Jordan Nobbs. She was no way going to get a foul for that. Frank Kirby trying to get into the penalty area, but a loose touch. And again, USA on the break. Alex Morgan tries to flick the header on for Wambach. A long ball for England this time down the line on the far side. A lot of pressure going on there. Cleared by the USA. Nice, neat and tidy over on the far side there. Wambach lays the ball back to Carly Lloyd. Into the feet of Morgan. Nice play by the USA, but a bit of a loose pass there by Wambach. Hasn't really got in the game yet. She actually missed a penalty against France. It was a very dubious penalty at that. So justice was served, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think she actually won the penalty, didn't she?
She
and
did.
Took it, and you know she come on as a sub. So I think she wanted to, be the hero, but it wasn't her. It wasn't her day.
No, not at all. Well, it wasn't her day at all. 2-0 loss against France. Mark Sampson just yelling instructions to Karen Carney to get over to the far side. Morgan with the header all the way into the path of Jill Scott, who picks it up and lays it to the far side to Jordan Nobbs. Nobbs has a bit of time to pick her pass. Not many options though, not much movement in front of her. So she takes it over the halfway line. Lovely ball into Karen Carney, who does well with her second touch. And Carney tries to play in Taylor. Might fall for Kirby. Not the tallest of players, Kirby. She lost out on the header there. And now the USA can break. Game just opening up a little bit. Great interception by Scott, but it goes straight back to the USA. The ball overlapping to Alex Morgan. Great defending by Demi Stokes, just stopped her in her tracks, out for a corner to the USA.
I think that's the difference from the Germany game, the fact that you've got Jill Scott and Jo Potter, actually they're holding a little bit more, and you could see that America were breaking, because that's what they can do really well, they can counter-attack. However, those two were able to stop and break up play, and I think that's what they missed against Germany.
Words of Sue Smith, England international. It's actually picked in a FIFA All-Star against the USA a few years back.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience.
Fantastic. So she knows her stuff. Another low-driven corner and easily cleared. That was the second one we've seen from the USA. Obviously quite calculated. They're obviously told to do that. It comes back out to Holiday, who took the corner, and now Morgan Bryant just surges past Demi Stokes. Now Holiday again, shipped ball in, and it's the header by Alex Morgan, and the USA have taken the lead against the run of play here. Wonderful cross. And Alex Morgan rose highest and just nodded the ball past Karen Bardsley. England once again trail against one of the world's greatest women's football teams, this time the number 2 team. It's England 0, USA 1.
Have to say, I do feel for England, because they have defended well, and that was just, you can't let them have that much time on a cross. The cross in, I think it was Holiday who actually crossed the ball in. Lovely whip ball, and you've got Alex Morgan just coming in she sort of made a diagonal run, and great header past Karen Bardsley. I don't think she could have done much better. Did she get a hand to it? It looked like she slightly got a hand to it, but yeah, it was a good goal from America. And again, they are good in the air, they're good at set pieces, they're good at crosses coming in, and that's what they have to try and stop. That they have to try and limit those crosses.
I think it was slightly against the run of play, although the USA that was some really nice build-up work. And that is Alex Morgan's 50th goal for the USA. And a fairly good one at that.
Again, going back to the France game, she was probably their best player, America. She was the one that looked lively, looked like she was going to create something. But the thing that was missing was that goal or that final pass. And she's been out injured for a while. She's had an ankle ligament injury since October. So, that was one of her first games back, and she didn't have that sharpness, I suppose, that match sharpness. She's got it tonight, hasn't she, with that goal?
Absolutely.
Great header.
And again, she's been the most lively player on the pitch again for the USA. Just been involved in everything, even though she's pretty much been everywhere, even though she's supposed to be the striker. Abby Wambach goes down under the challenge of Bassett, who's walking away, hoping there won't be another sanction other than a foul. And the referee looks like it will be it. It's an opportunity for the USA. A little bit of frustration showing there from Bassett, I think.
Yeah, I think so, and I think she's been told to do that, because Abby Wambach likes to drop into that space, and I think they've said one of the centre halves has to close her down, but that was just a little bit too much. She closed her down and did bundle her over.
So a free kick to the USA, lead by 1-0. Alex Morgan on 25 minutes here at Stadium MK, and it will be Lauren Holiday, seems to be the selected dead ball taker. Here's Holiday with the free kick over the wall, easily held by Karen Bardsley, and a massive cheer from the England fans, who willing their team on and wanting them to get a goal back before half-time. Still time to go, and they've had their opportunities, although perhaps half chances at best at the moment, England, but some nice passages of play so far. Here's Stokes, and was it Jordan Nobbs who misread that, and USA can attack once again with Krieger. Alex Morgan wants it. She's got 2 white shirts around her. Alex Morgan twisting and turning and fouling in the end. Bassett, that was really good play by Bassett, just got her body in the way and drew the foul from Morgan.
Really good defending, and that's horrible as an attacker, when a defender just gets their body in the way and stops you getting past them, and like I say, Laura Bassett does that really, really well.
Speaking from experience there.
Yeah, I've played against her a few times. Try and stay on the other side if I can.
Sue Smith will be trying to help Doncaster Rebels Bells to the WSL2 title. Just missed out last season to Sunderland. And here's America on the attack once again with Carly Lloyd this time. Very good challenge by Alex Scott to take the ball off her. Throw into the USA. Leading by 1-0. And here's Frank Kirby. Manages to dispossess USA. Surging down the right-hand side. She's got 2 players around her though. Not many options there in the end. Just dribbles it out of play. I think they can't keep up with her. So
yeah, well, she got crowded out, didn't she? I think the Americans had 2 players around her in the end, and no option for her to just bounce the ball off. And in the end, she sort of run down a blind alley, if you like.
I'd like to see Frank Kirby and Jodie Taylor perhaps see a bit more of the ball.
Yeah, they're very deep, and I think obviously that's how they've wanted to play. They've wanted to try and prevent America from getting through, and you can see, like I said, they've got the blocks of 4-4-2, but they're pretty much in their own half a lot of the time, and they've got then a long way to go. You've seen Frank Kirby won the ball in her own half, and she had to sort of drive all the way across. So whether things will have to change now they've gone 1-0 down, whether they'll move that little bit further forward, I don't know.
Here's Carly Lloyd, the long diagonal ball. Oh, nearly came off there. That was great vision by Lloyd. For Ali Krieger, surging forward from the right back position. Another goal kick to England, trailing by 1-0. I'm not sure, Sue. Do you think they've been told to just then and a number of times this half? England have been every single player back in their own half. Do you not want at least one?
I think that's what they've been told to do, and I think they're trying to do what America do to a lot of other teams, and that's hit them on the counter-attack, because they know they've got pace up front. But it's difficult as a forward, because when you win the ball and you're in your own half, you've got a long distance to travel towards the goal.
Frank Kirby doing well to control the ball and evading a challenge. Still going Kirby, battling for the ball with Morgan Bryant, but Bryant wins out in the end and plays the ball over to the far side to Klingenberg. Exchanges passes with Lloyd. Carly Lloyd is what you would call a big game player. Scored some really important goals. Scored both goals against Japan in the final of London 2012 Olympics. But is playing in a kind of left midfield role this evening. Klingenberg finds Engen, and now over to the other side to Krieger. It's Krieger again, whips in across, blocked by Stokes. Another corner kick to the USA, and you can see that England, they've dealt with them fairly well so far. We'll see if it's another low driven cross, because they haven't really worked for the USA so far, but as in against Germany, it's these kind of long high balls into the box, finding it difficult to deal with. I think they have been better, say, since Bassett has come in, actually.
Definitely, and also you've got Jill Scott, you've got the height in there, Jo Potter, both really good in the air, and you can see Jo Potter's, marking Abby Wambach player for player there.
This time it's a floated ball just over the head of Wambach. They might have heard us saying that those weren't working.
Yeah, that one didn't work either.
That's the drawing board on the corners. So 33 minutes gone here at Stadium MK on BBC Sport. You'll be able to see full highlights of the game shortly after the final whistle here on the BBC Sport app and the website bbc.co.uk/sport. A massive weekend of sport, especially in football, the FA Cup across the BBC all weekend. There's a USA try and mount another attack. Lots of space on the left-hand side. England slow to come over and cover. It's Holiday into Alex Morgan, crowded out by 4 players, does get a shot away, but crowded out. Oh, and that's a lunging 2-footed tackle by Bassett, and there's a lot of gasps around us, but again the referee lets play go on. She's walking a bit of a tightrope, but it looks like the referee doesn't really mind at the moment. And a speculative effort comes in, easily gathered by Karen Bardsley.
Laura Bassett is definitely up for this game, isn't she?
Yeah, really.
That was lucky. I think that is her game, though. And she puts fear amongst players, and you can see that the Americans are a little bit fearful of her when she's coming in like that. So as long as the referee's not booking her, then keep going. From an England perspective. Yeah,
absolutely. Here's Engen surging forward. Sauerbrunn, rather. Demi Stokes ignores the call from Barnsley to come out and decides to go for it herself. Tries to find Taylor, but Engen's there first. Here's Fran Kirby, just being a bit too ponderous on the ball. And a long ball diagonal from Jo Potter all the way over, looking for Jordan Nobbs, who just about manages to keep it in. Will have to run onto her own ball. But in the end, it's easily cleared by the USA.
See, I really rate Jordan Nobbs as a footballer. I think she's fantastic. I think Arsenal really missed her last season when she was injured. I don't think she's a right winger. I think, for me, I like her in the centre, and I know obviously we need that strength and that, you know, that power in there, but I just don't think she's a winger.
She's usually deployed as a centre mid for Arsenal.
She is, and she's more of a, you know, you'll play her if it's a 4-4-2. She'd probably play where Jill Scott would play, and, you know, she would be the box-to-box runner. But I don't think she's a player that'll get the ball out wide and beat a player and whip a cross in. What, she'll do that now. So I'd like to see her more centrally, I think.
It's actually been the USA who've been criticised. The USA coach Jill has been criticised for putting square pegs in round holes, but at the moment it's worked this time. They're definitely a team in transition, the USA. A lot of older players who've played in many World Cups, won lots of medals in the Olympic Games, just trying to nurture the new generation. We've got such a huge pool of talent though in the USA, all the colleges and all the academies. Absolutely humongous, and a massive job for Jill Ellis.
Yeah, and I think they just seem to keep producing good quality players. So one will retire and then another one will just come through just as good and of a similar mould.
USA just keeping possession here. If we just sit on their 1-0 lead at the moment. It is Krieger again. She's seen a lot of the ball.
She's playing more like a right winger rather than a right back, isn't she?
Absolutely. Another header on by Morgan. And Abby Wambach is just beaten to it by Bardsley, who seems to be okay after that initial knock or strain. Not quite sure what happened. She was treated for an issue with her ankle, but seems okay at the moment.
Yeah, I've actually just been looking at Karen Bardsley. She's actually got on the back of her right leg, she's got some Keynes tape, so I don't know if maybe she's got a hamstring problem or a calf problem, and maybe that's had some sort of effect. That's looking from where we are, it's quite difficult to see, but
see most players have some sort of tape on them these days.
I think it's a trend.
Yeah. And the USA in behind once again on the far side of the Preston press. Stands the ball up for Wambach, does get her head to the ball and claps her hands frustration. Another goal kick to England. I don't think the USA are doing anything any particularly special. Long balls into the box. Yeah. I think England are slightly unlucky to be 1-0 behind, really.
Yeah, and I think that has been their game. The last few games I've seen them play, they have been very direct. And I think when you've got, like, say, Abby Wambach, who is very good in the air, very tall, you do tend to just play long balls up to her, let her win the ball, and then players play off her. You know, not really attractive style of play. But if it works...
Yeah, if it works, it's effective. So throw into England on the far side, looking for Kirby. She's being bullied out of the game a little bit at the moment, Kirby, which is unlike her. I know she's small, but she's pretty strong. And Scott doesn't get her pass away quick enough and is dispossessed. Now a long ball looking for the run of Alex Morgan, well defended by Steph Horton, who got back, nodded it into the path of Alex Scott. Now here's Jo Potter, another player who's been recalled under the Mark Sampson era. Karen Carney into Nobbs, who's come a bit more central, and Stokes. Nobbs was trying to play that killer pass, didn't really come off there, and Wambach just about gets there, and it's Jo Potter who's just still sitting on Wambach. Eventually gets up off her. I think Wambach will take a bit of time to get up, or she's up already. Bit of a clash there. And the USA maintain possession and slow the game down to almost a walking pace, the USA.
They do, and again, that's a tactic. They slow it down to then hit you really, really quickly. I suppose it's lull you into a false sense of security, isn't it?
To make the England players stop in their tracks and then
go really quick.
And again, nice ball out to the far side for Krieger. You'll say forced to go back, but they're quite comfortable just maintaining possession in the England half. England
are just getting deeper and deeper.
It's not what you really want to see, is it? That it's gone a little bit flat here at Stadium MK. You've been trailing by a goal to nil. You want them to push forward. It's not time to go gung-ho just yet. As the cross comes in, Krieger brings it back to Wan-Back, tries to cushions it down. Krieger with the shot to the near post. Easily held by Karen Barnsley, got down well to her left-hand side. Good effort.
Yeah, it was a good effort, and I actually thought Abby Wan-Back was going to go for the spectacular, you know, the overhead kick. I think that was actually on, but you know, she just set the ball, and it was a comfortable save for Karen Barnsley in the end. I think when it's skidding off the turf, sometimes you know you say it's comfortable, but I suppose for a keeper, it's probably quite difficult to try and predict where the ball's going to go.
Yeah, it's been raining steadily here in Milton Keynes. Mark Sampson's just having a word with a FIFA official about something. This is the trait of modern managers. It's on the far side. Another cross into the box. Karen Barnsley opts to punch this one. The right decision so far. Carly Lloyd tries to get ahead to it. It's Jo Potter. Fran Kirby, another fantastic turn from her, away from the challenge. Back to Stokes. Potter. There's a bit of frustration from the England fans around us. What a ball by Potter over to the far side. Whipped in by Nobbs, not a great ball. That was a worldy ball by Potter. I was going to say just then that England were going backwards there. They had a lot of runners, but Potter, what a ball.
Fantastic ball, and you know that's what Farrah Williams is normally in there for. She sits, and when she gets the ball, she'll try and spread it out wide, and Jo Potter, that was an amazing ball through to Jordan Nobbs.
Jordan Nobbs into Jodie Taylor, looking for the run there. Couldn't quite latch onto it. A decent opportunity though for England.
Good chance, and Jodie Taylor just needed to get anything on it. She just a toe on it or anything. And again, we spoke about the skiddy turf, and I think it did skid off a little bit, so she couldn't actually get anything to it.
Well, in the USA's favour that time. Here's Krieger once again. Left-footed cross, easily cut out by Potter, who could look up and find some options. Karen Carney closed down, good turn away, and into Jill Scott. England just finding their rhythm a bit more in the last couple of minutes. Here's Nobbs on the far side, over the halfway line, has a bit of space to run into. Nobbs goes to cross early, wrong option, and not really a very good cross at all, easily gathered by Ashlyn Harris.
Better from England though. I think when they get hold of the ball in the middle and they start passing it round, and like I say, getting Jo Potter on there, and she can play the ball, she can play that 30-yard pass out wide, and that just changes the angle of play. And when America are all over one side, it gives another option, and if we can carry on doing that, I think we'll create chances.
Absolutely. The ball nearly falls kindly for Alex Morgan in the box, cleared by Demi Stokes. And as far as Krieger though, here's Lloyd on the near side. Tries a little trick, Lloyd, to get past Demi Stokes, but outfoxes herself, I think.
She did. She tricked herself, did she?
Those look good when they come off, but when they don't, I'm guessing you get an earful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's where you just turn away from the manager because you think they're going to say something, or then the players will give you a little bit of stick at half time. So
there you go. It's not quite time to
showboat.
No, not to turn on the techers just yet. Only 1-0 up, still a long way to go, and England have started to find their stride just a little bit. Nice little chip ball from Carney into Taylor, sprays the ball out wide to Jordan Nobbs. Nobbs down the line, looking for Fran Kirby. The ball is cleared, and England can come again with Horton. I think England just need to enjoy a bit more possession at the moment. And actually USA are sitting fairly deep, not as deep as England obviously, but not really pressing too high, although they've now moved into the England half. Bardsley with the ball, trying to find an option. And England going to have to get rid of it now. Not a great clearance by Bardsley. And if Alex Morgan just got her back on side there, that maybe would have been an opportunity.
Yeah, I think that America do that very well. They close down, and when one goes, the other one goes, and then the midfield go, and it makes it very difficult then to find a pass.
So England still trailing by a goal to nil in this World Cup warm-up game. So that is what it is. 4 months to go until the World Cup in Canada in the summer. And playing some of the top teams in the world. Germany defeat at Wembley. And that is Steph Houghton, you can see she was panicking just a little bit there. She was cleared the ball. Davy Wambach thought she'd blocked it fairly, but the referee gave her a handball in the end. Here's Potter for England. Now Waitakani's been closed down by Krieger and Lloyd on Stokes. And America not letting England out of their own half at the moment. Very impressive defensive work from, in particular, the front players, actually.
It really is. They're working really, really hard across the line, and they're limiting England to just long passes. And Jodie Taylor will run for you all day, so you could play that ball in and she'll run and she'll try and close the players down. But it's, yeah, like you say, good defending from America, stopping England actually getting out, because you can only pass so much across the back line before you need to go forward.
1 additional minute of stoppage time here at Stadium MK. It looks like, barring anything unforeseen, England will go in half-time 1-0 down. Much better than 3-0. It's last time against Germany at Wembley.
Sort of game over then, isn't it? And what do you say to players at half-time when it's 3-0 against, you know, sort of world champions, Olympic champions? It's a difficult one. So I think, you know, 1-0 to score that they can definitely come back into the game. They've created chances, haven't they?
Absolutely. But America might just get one more opportunity, and it's just flashed wide of the post. And it is a corner, so it did get a nick off an England player. That looked dangerous. I'm not sure Karen Bardsley was entirely sure where that ball was going.
They're so dangerous at crosses. They whip that in, and you can see Abby Wambach's looking for that, just that little touch, and I think if she'd have got that little touch, it probably would have gone in.
So a corner for USA once again. So England will have to keep their wits about them just for a few more seconds before the half-time whistle goes. There's Holiday again to take. Decent chipped ball to the far corner, and it looked like Potter there was pushed. The referee is, the England players are incensed by the referee. I could see a definite push by the USA player, so it's gone out for another corner. And this would be really a massive injustice if they score from this.
Yeah, you can see the England players were talking to the ref, but she, you know, she was adamant that was her decision.
So another corner, whipped in towards the goalkeeper to the far post. Carly Lloyd's there, nodded away by Scott. England must clear their lines. Fran Kirby doesn't really get the touch. And the referee blows for half-time. So it's England 0, USA 1 here at Stadium NK in this international friendly. A lot of positives to take. Would like to see a bit more attacking intent perhaps from England in the second half, Sue?
Yeah, I think so. I think they did sit back. They defended well at times, but I would like to see, like I say, when their forwards were getting onto the ball, Fran Kirby, Jodie Taylor, they were in their own half, and it's a long way to go to the goal. So I think, you know, yes, if they can just 10 metres forward, I think that would help them. But you look at England's bench, they've got a lot of good players to bring on, the likes of Leanne Sanderson, Eni Aluko. So now England have that strength in depth to change a game if they need to.
We'll be back for the second half in 15 minutes' time. Half-time here. It's England 0, USA 1.
Stadium MK, please welcome back England.
Oh yeah, ask her about
Welcome back to Stadium MK for the international friendly between England and the USA. England trailing by 1-0 as we about to get the second half underway. It was Alex Morgan on 25 minutes, a athletic header past Karen Bardsley. So decent first half, but to be honest, chances few and far between for England. Sue Smith, what do you think Mark Sampson said at half-time?
I think he probably said defensively we've done okay. You know, we've kept our shape. We've had the sort of 4-4-2 like he wanted. But going forward, I think we need to be a little bit more explosive. I think we need to get more players forward, and I think we need to start that little bit higher. And it looked straight away from the off like that's what they've done. Because I think, like I mentioned earlier, that Jodie Taylor and Frank Kirby, when they were picking the ball up, they were too deep to actually cause America any sorts of problems. So if they can start that little bit higher, they've got a better chance.
We'll see what a difference that makes. Just 10 yards, a bit further up the field. I think that's you're probably right. It's just all they need. But once again, the USA are just playing it in their own half, and there's no white shirts in the USA half. So here's Morgan Bryant with a ball down the flank. Seen out by Alex Scott for a throw-in right down by the corner flag to England, who are preparing for the World Cup in Canada against their opponents who've won it twice. But the last time was in 1999, so not exactly setting it alight recently. But England's best record in the World Cup's twice quarter-finalists. Steph Houghton, closed down by Abby Wambach, manages to get away from that. Nice link-up play by Taylor and Kirby, but just cut out by Sauerbrunn. Now USA can progress down the side again with Kristen Press. Press with a cross into the penalty area, nodded away by Scott, and there's a handball there by Carly Lloyd, which the referee spotted. Will be a free kick to England. So it'll be interesting to see if Mark Sampson does make any changes. He's Jodie Taylor and Frank Kirby, the two up front at the moment, and two both receiving their fourth caps this evening. So not exactly a wealth of experience. We've got Eni Aluko on the bench, who perhaps would be the first choice to come on.
Definitely, and I think that's good for England, the fact that we have got that strength in depth now. We have got those experienced quality players that you can bring on, and they can change a game, you know. And I think I'm looking at maybe Eni Aluko coming on at some point, maybe on the, I don't know, usually it's the sort of 60th minute, isn't it? I think when a manager, if things aren't working, they make that change.
Yeah, Eni Aluko is vastly experienced. Made her debut when she was just 17 years old for England, and was the top scorer in the fantastic World Cup qualifying campaign. And that is really good offensive work by Steph Houghton, the centre-back. Decent looking ball into Jodie Taylor, who turns away from the challenge, and into the path of Fran Kirby. Kirby trying to explode past the two USA defenders. In the end, they do their job well, crowd her out, but that's exactly what we want from Kirby. You put your house on her beating most defenders for pace.
Apart from the Americans. They are quick, they are strong, and you could see they just crowded her out there, didn't they? But a good initial work from Steph Houghton. She just stepped into the midfield to win the ball, and then played a nice little ball into the midfield. And again, that's what the defenders need to do. If they can stop the supply, but then if it does go into the forwards, if they can step in and win the ball, and that's what she did, and that's what Laura Bassett was doing all through the first half.
Seeing a bit more on the front foot.
Definitely.
Yeah. Here's Klingenberg. It's losing out to Alex Scott, who can't quite keep it in. Again, haven't seen quite a lot of Alex Scott, who usually really loves to bomb down the flank from the right back position. Haven't seen too much of her. I think they've been definitely a lot more conservative compared to Germany. Slightly naive that night.
Yeah, they really have, and I think you can play.
Ball into the penalty area, and a challenge by the England defence, and slight claims of a penalty, but I think it was well timed. In the end, the USA just get a corner out of that one, but a very good incisive pass there into the penalty area, and well, that had to be timed right.
It did. Jill Scott did really well there, because she was sliding in. It was in the penalty area, but she did time it perfectly, and I think she won the ball, and the referee obviously did.
But a corner kick for the USA to take, and England to defend. Lots of a big huddle right in front of Karen Bardsley. Corner kick taken into the penalty area, and Jill Scott is there once again to rise highest and nod it away from danger. But here's Klingenberg, gets the better of Taylor, cross into the penalty area, and just about cleared by England. Jordan Nobbs trying to close down the USA defence. Here's Nobbs again, taking up possession, turning away from the challenge of Klingenberg, who's coming back. Jill Scott can't quite get there in front of Holiday, and it's all getting a little bit scrappy at the moment. No team really keeping possession, but that was a lovely nutmeg from Jordan Nobbs, showing her technique there. She's definitely got that in her locker. Real tricky player, Jordan Nobbs, and only 22 years old. She's definitely got a big England future ahead of her.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, Arsenal missed her so much last season when she was out injured with a back injury. So they were really pleased to get her back. And once she did return, the results started to get even better. So yeah, she's a big player for Arsenal and for England.
Arsenal have been. Well, all the WSL teams have been recruiting pretty frantically over the summer. A couple of foreign imports for Arsenal. It'll be very interesting to see how they do this season. But it's going to be. I'll probably say this every season, but it's going to be extremely competitive, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and that's what you want. And each season it seems to have got better. I think last season we've said I don't think it could be a better ending to a season, but this year it's looking like it's going to be another tight one. And Man City, I think, are definitely going to be competing this year. I think last season obviously was their first and was a bit, they were lacking in experience at times, but the players that they've signed, they're definitely going to be challenging.
Absolutely. Another cross into the box to the far post. Well held by Karen Bardsley, and USA continuing with their tactic of putting those balls into the box. A bit too much on that pass from Alex Scott to Jordan Nobbs, who just leaves Sauerbrunn to pick up the pieces. Klingenberg inside to Wambach, who's dropped a bit deeper, and a lovely little ball inside from Klingenberg into Alex Morgan, scored the goal in the first half to give USA the lead. It's Klingenberg again, inside to Lauren Holiday, and shot there by Kristen Press. Another ball into the penalty area, not really dealt with by England. Still the USA have it in the box, and it will be cleared in the end by Jill Scott. Not a lot of distance, but a lot of height on it. Fran Kirby challenging.
America look dangerous, don't they, every time they get the ball into the box.
And at the moment, just being a first to every ball, Jill Scott a little bit slow there. So USA switch play inside to Press, and a bit of a lack of communication there between Holiday and Wambach. We go out for an England goal kick. USA just turning the screw a little bit. England still haven't tested Aislinn Harris in the USA goal at all.
No, they haven't. And what America are doing really well, and they've done it all the way through the first half as well, and that is they're picking up the second ball. So, you know, the first ball will go in and they'll maybe win the header, but they're always there for the second ball. They're very sharp and aware, and I think England need to be a little bit better at that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Sampson does make a substitution. At the moment, heading for his third defeat as England boss. But here's Jodie Taylor latching onto a header from Fran Kirby. Jodie Taylor with the shot, and it's gone over the bar. Much more positive, though. I think it was always going to be very, very difficult to score from that angle in that range, but at least she gave it a go.
Yeah, she did, and I've seen Jodie Taylor score goals like that as well. And I think, you know, it was actually Fran Kirby that won the header, probably one of the smallest players on the pitch. And Jodie Taylor just timed her run really well. And that's what you want. You want them to be positive. You want them to have a go at their back four, because defenders hate players running at them, and that's when players run at them, you can see they're panicking. And, you know, she managed to get a shot off. Yes, it wasn't the greatest shot in the world, but it was positive from England, and that's what we need more of.
Early cross in for Wambach, who cushions it down for Carly Lloyd. Lloyd still going. Challenge comes in, and it held by Karen Bardsley. And the game's getting a bit more end-to-end here, which is what we want to see. And the band has struck up. They're pleased here at Stadium MK. Yeah, much better by England. Jodie Taylor still looking for her first international goal, although this is only her fourth appearance. 28 years old, and into the England fold, looking to get back into the to cement her place in the Women's World Cup. Lots of developments though over the summer. Of course, Ellen White out for the whole season last year with that knee injury. She's back. Goal-scoring return, I understand, in a friendly for Notts County. Here's Fran Kirby, will take aim. Kirby! She's hit the post. What a wonderful shot! And Jodie Taylor puts it into the back of the net, but the flag is up. Oh, Fran Kirby. She drew a wonderful save from Ashlyn Harris, who pushed it onto the ball, and Jodie Taylor just strayed offside. But that's got the crowd up. So close to an equaliser there, Taylor. She thought she'd done it, but the flag went up straight away. And a let-off there for the USA.
I tell you what, Fran Kirby and Jodie Taylor, they've been, this second half, they've really been more positive. They've been getting the ball, they've been having a go. That's both of them. Fran Kirby there just got a yard, and what a fantastic effort. And it was actually a good save onto the bar, and Jodie Taylor, like lightning, like a good striker does, follows it up, but she was offside, unfortunately. I've seen the flag go up, and so disappointing, because we wanted to get her first goal. That'll just, you know, give her that bit more confidence. But great effort from England, and it just shows what they can do when they are positive and they do have a go.
Very capable, fantastic shot by Fran Kirby. She's actually had a very good game. Hasn't seen a lot of the ball, but she's really proved a tricky customer to this USA defence. Some great turns, and that was a really good shot from distance, and that equally a very, very good save by Ashlyn Harris.
It was. She's been the spark, hasn't she? When she's got the ball, it looks like something can happen. I think every player needs that, and I suppose she's a little bit of the unknown. The American team probably won't know that much about her, and I think, you know, they'll definitely know about her after this game.
Absolutely. 57 minutes on the clock here at Stadium MK. England a whisker away from equalising, still trailing by 1-0 as the USA press high, try to get the ball off Alex Scott, exchanges passes with Jordan Nobbs, and Nobbs just crowded out by the USA, and fouls. Gives away a foul on Carly Lloyd, and I dare say USA will launch this one into the box. Already making their way over there. It's going to be Lauren Holiday. Kirby, unlike Taylor, has got an England goal to her name on her debut, a goal-scoring debut against Sweden in the friendly up at Hartlepool. And it's a bit of a training ground free kick from Holiday, and Kirby doesn't quite get the challenge in to the byline. Kirby does well in the end to get back at and make the challenge, and out for another corner to the USA.
Which doesn't seem to faze her, does it? You know, she made a debut against Sweden, top nation, had a fantastic game for me, probably one of the players of the match, scored a goal, and then against America now, Must be youth.
Corner launched into the box. Fantastic header by Jill Scott to nod it away from the incoming USA player. And I think watching Germany, what struck me immediately was how tall they were. And I think they really, Jill Scott, I think she came on, she was a substitute in that Germany game, but they really could have used her. And just from evidence there, win the header from a standing position when the USA player was actually attacking it from distance, and she still managed to win it. Another corner for England to defend. And it was Carly Lloyd who got her head to the ball, easily held by Karen Bardsley, who pumps the ball upfield straight away. And not really dealt with by Becky Sauerbrunn, and a bit of a mix-up from Kirby. And now it's Abby Wambach at the edge of the penalty area. Crowded out a little bit, and England can clear their lines. Jo Potter just scuffs that though. And USA appeal for a handball, nothing doing from the referee. I do like this referee. Letting the game flow a lot, even in the face of a Laura Bassett 2-footed tackle in the first half.
But I think that's good. I don't think, often if you're talking about the referee too much, I don't think that's a good thing. And the fact, like you say, she's just letting things go, she's letting the game flow, and you don't want it to be a stop-start.
Absolutely.
So we like her.
We do. Sandra Bastos of Portugal officiating this one. I'm sure she'll do something to annoy us now. But at the moment,
she's going to let Jodie Taylor's goal go, couldn't she?
She could have, yes. No flag went up very quickly on that one, but yes, England pressing forward, but it's another long diagonal. Alex Morgan gets her head to the ball for the USA, tries to nod it on, but it's another goal kick to England, trail by a goal to nil. Next up is the Cyprus Cup for England next month, and then one more friendly against an unnamed opponent. It was supposed to be France, but having been drawn against them in the World Cup, that has been put on hold. So not long at all till the tournament. So competition for places will really hot up. So I was saying about Ellen White coming back into the frame, especially now, of course, we must mention Kelly Smith, absolute England legend, retiring from international duty. Still be seeing her running out for Arsenal, but England's top scorer, record scorer, won't be part of the England national team anymore. I'm sure she'll be an influence.
Oh, definitely. It's actually quite sad to think that you're not going to actually see Kelly Smith play. I obviously made my debut and she was playing, and she's a fantastic player. She's done so much for the women's game, and I know she'll stay involved in some way. It'd be nice if it was a coaching capacity, because I think she's got a lot to give and a lot to tell, and obviously players respect her for what she's achieved.
Shot from the edge of the box, didn't really get hold of that one. Alex Morgan easily held by Karen Bardsley. Kelly Smith, she's coach at Arsenal.
Yes,
player coach.
Yeah, and I think that's something that she wants to go into. I think she's a very good coach, so I think it's a progression for her. I think she's still obviously playing at this moment in time, but when she hangs the boots up totally, I think that might be something that she'll do.
At this very moment in time, she's actually doing commentary in the USA.
Oh,
so
I know, we're both very jealous of that.
We are. We're both all watching the game, but we're here at Milton Keynes, and she's in must be LA.
In the warmth.
I'm sure she's having a lovely time. But should we want her team to score a goal? How they could use her now with that wonderful left foot she has.
And I think that's the thing, that she, even last season, she could still change a game. So it was a bit of a surprise to me. I know she'd been thinking about it for a while with injuries and things, but she seemed to have got herself back fit. So it's it's disappointing, but I suppose a great player's got to retire at some point.
Absolutely. Still be trying to get herself fit for the upcoming Women's Super League season, though, as the USA come forward again. The teasing ball into the area, well dealt with by Steph Horton. Morgan Bryant trying to get things going from midfield. England can't really get it out of their half at the moment. Here's Engen into Bryan once again. Another ball in. USA doing some nice one-touch passing on the edge of the penalty area. And the ball will come away with Kirby. And is England on the attack with Jodie Taylor. Jordan Nobbs' return pass wasn't good. And the USA get away with one again. You can see England attacking very, very quickly. They're on the counter-attack. And apart from that shot from Frank Kirby, though, hasn't really come off as yet.
No, it was a quick break, and Jordan Nobbs, again, another box-to-box player, lots of energy, and it was only actually her and Jodie Taylor. They had 4 American defenders around them, so it was going to be a difficult task. And it was a nothing ball in the end.
Yeah, you're right. The USA defence got back very quickly there, despite having all players in the England half, apart from their own goalkeeper. And yes, another England goalkeeper who was just interviewed on the pitch at half-time, Rachel Brown, another one who's retired from the game completely. And she was asked if she wished she was playing tonight, and she actually said it's a bit cold, isn't it?
That really surprises me of Rach Brown, because she's one of those people that she's, you know, if you turn up to training and you've got your skins on, which is usually me, she's the one in her shorts and t-shirt saying, yeah, I'm from the north, I'm rock hard, so that surprises me. But again, another fantastic goalkeeper role model for the women's game, and she will definitely stay involved in some capacity.
England get away with one on the down by their own corner flag. Klingenberg picked up a ball from Alex Scott, but her pass was wayward and it goes out. 65 minutes on the clock. A bit surprising, still no substitutes from either side. England will want to, they won't want this to kind of peter out. They'll want to try and get a few more opportunities on goal.
Yeah, definitely. I think if they can get a result, it'd be a fantastic result. And you can see there's a few players out there warming up, but whether he's looking at bringing them on, and you know, we spoke about Eni Aluko and Leanne Sanderson, but he knows what they can do. So is it time to maybe try some of the newer players, the ones that we've not seen too much of, and see if they can perform against a top team?
Well, we'll soon see Alex Greenwood warming up. She's another left back who Mark Sampson's very, very keen on. Has moved from Everton to Notts County this summer. Lovely skill by Frank Kirby. Carves out a crossing opportunity. There was only Jodie Taylor in the box, though, and that's the difference really between the USA and England. Really good skill to get away and make some space for the cross, Frank Kirby there. But the USA, they get bodies in the box, and yeah, really, if Kirby did hit Jodie Taylor basically on the head there, wasn't really going to come off. There was 4 red shirts back.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference, like you said, when America get the crosses in, there's 3 or 4 players in there to aim for, and it looks dangerous.
Nobbs trying to pick out a pass into Frank Kirby, cut out though by Morgan Bryan, into the feet of Wambach. And now here's Klingenberg coming forward from left back, a right-footed left back though. I always find that a bit strange, but obviously skilled enough to fulfill the role for the USA this evening. Morgan Bryan to the far side. Now here's Becky Sauerbrunn. USA, just like they did in the first half, just slowing the play down. And no pressure from England at all. Just playing it around their back 4, the USA. Leading by a 0-0. Alex Morgan with her 50th international goal on 25 minutes. Here's number 25, Klingenberg. And they just play it into trouble, USA, and into an offside position. It'll be a free kick to England. It looks like Alex Greenwood is going to come on for England, stripped and ready to go. Interesting change from Mark Sampson.
It is, yeah, obviously a defensive player, so whether she's going to go on at left back, which is a usual position that she played for Everton, she's just signed for Notts County. But I know I've seen her play centre midfield as a defending midfielder, so maybe that could be another option. But that's one of the players I was saying is a young player that's maybe we've not seen too much of. I
think she wanted to come on there, but England took the throw in very, very quickly. Jodie Taylor
It's actually
closing
quite...
down the goalkeeper, and around us is a Mexican wave, just obscuring our view a little bit. Maybe we should join in.
Yeah,
that would help.
It's actually quite funny because I think Mark Sampson told Frank Kirby to go down so that he could maybe get the substitute on and speak to a few players, and she went down and the referee didn't see it, and she's actually gone down again now, so I actually think she's okay.
She's fine. So yes, Alex Greenwood coming on, and Demi Stokes coming off. It looks like it probably will be a straight swap, left back for left back. And Frank Kirby receiving treatment. And as Sue Smith pointed out, may not be for anything, just to
I could see her laughing. Yeah, I could see her laughing at Mark Sampson as if to say, like, she didn't see me. So yeah, she's fine. I think that was a tactical thing.
Bit of sportsmanship from Mark Sampson there. But she's had to come off the pitch because she's received treatment from a physio, Frank Kirby. So Alex Greenwood coming on for Demi Stokes. For her 7th cap. And, she's scored a goal for England in the 10-0 win against Montenegro during World Cup qualifying. That was when England already qualified, and Mark Sampson had taken a bit of a fresh team for that one. I think they all got in on the act on that 10-0 win. So 15,000 tickets sold here at MK. A lot of empty seats, but a decent atmosphere by the crowds who have made the trip. As the USA pump in another cross, controlled by Taylor, tries to find Kirby, surrounded by USA shirts, and in the end it's Morgan Bride who comes away with the ball for the USA. If you just joined us on the BBC Sport website or app, you can see full highlights at the conclusion of this match. Full-time whistle will be highlights available on the website, bbc.co.uk/sport. Hopefully be able to show you an England goal. But here's USA on the attack. Once again, Alex Morgan to the byline. Her cross is cut out, and there will be another corner. Lots of corners for the USA have won. Still haven't looked completely convincing, the USA, and don't look like the powerhouse they once were particularly, but by the same token, England really have only had one clear-cut chance to pull one back. The Mexican wave still going, a little bit petered out slightly. Just the die-hard Mexican wave fans joining in now around us.
Which is good because we can actually see now.
Yes, as the corner comes in, floated into the back post, and it is won by one back, but caught easily by Bardsley. So the clock ticks to 72 minutes. An early touch for Alex Greenwood who's come on. Can't quite find Fran Kirby. And America pick it up in midfield. A poor pass, but Jordan Nobbs can't quite take it in her stride. We mentioned the competitiveness of the WSL 1, but I believe WSL 2 is going to be just as exciting. It's yourselves, Everton coming down.
Yeah. Reading,
of course, with their star Fran Kirby pushing for that top spot. And lots of them recruiting new players.
I think Yeovil will be strong this year.
Yes, yeah.
They've signed obviously a few good players from WSL 1, and I think it's going to be tight, which is what you want. You want competitive league, WSL 1 and WSL 2, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see who does go up and who goes down this year.
We'll have a lot of games on 5 Live Sports Extra for you from the Women's Super League this season. As a long ball is tried to find Frank Kirby. Whitney Engen nods it away. Steph Horton's going to have to deal with this one. Takes it off Alex Morgan. The back to goal. Horton finds Nobbs, exchanges passes with her right down by the corner flag. I think they need to just quicken things up a little bit, because that's when they've been at their best.
I think it is, yeah, it's that counter-attack, but I think they need to counter-attack with a few more numbers, maybe keep the steadiness of Joe Potter and Jill Scott, but, you know, can Karen Carney get involved that little bit more, and, you know, can Jordan Nobbs get forward again? And
that was a slide rule pass from Kristen Press, looking for the run of Alex Morgan, and it's gone out once again for another corner kick to the USA. 73 minutes gone. I think we are going to have another substitution. It looks like it will be Eni Aluko, who's just warming up. I'm not sure who Mark Sampson will take off, but we'll soon see. Not very surprised that he's introducing the experienced England striker.
Because I think he thinks he can get a result out of this game, which I think he can. You know, they've showed glimpses, haven't they? And Eni Aluko's one that can create chances.
Absolutely floated in. Corner, Wambach's there, and Karen Barsley picks up the pieces. As Eni Aluko waits for her chance to enter the fray and pick up her 87th cap. One of a handful of England players who has played in the USA, played some football abroad. That can only stand her in good stead in this game.
Yeah, I think there's a few players out there that have played in America, the likes of, you know, Karen Carney, Alex Scott. You can go through quite a few of the players, and I think that, you know, like you say, it stands them in good stead because they know what style of play the Americans play, and gives them a different way of I suppose, playing against them.
Absolutely. Here's another one, Leanne Sanderson, who is stripped and ready to go. Another one who had a lengthy spell, who's just returned actually. Great nutmeg by Alex Morgan, saved by Bardsley, beats it away. But USA turning the screw a little bit. Kristen Press with a loose touch, still Press into Carly Lloyd. Decent defending there by Bassett. And they're going to get it away with Potter. Closed down though by the USA with Press again. And England sitting so deep. No outlet really for them when they try and get this ball away. Low cross from the USA. Attack repelled once again by England. Sitting so deep at the moment, Sue Smith.
They really are. They can't actually get out of their own half. Well, their own box at times, and you need that outlet, don't you? I think it's difficult because when a team's pushing forward, they've got both fullbacks pushing on. America have just got the two centre halves sitting deep.
Carly Lloyd with the cross into the 6-yard box, laid back, deflected. That could have gone anywhere, but fortunately for England, didn't even reach Karen Bardsley. And Alex Scott comes away with the ball and plays it inside to Jill Scott.
I feel sorry for Eni Aluko. She's been stood there for about 5 minutes. I think
must be freezing.
Yeah, that's the only, you think, keep warm, make sure you keep warm. She's just stood there.
The ball hasn't gone out of play for quite some time. Ready to come on. It looks like it's going to be wholesale changes by Mark Sampson. Leanne Sanderson is going to come on.
It's Farrell Williams as well, I think.
Farrell Williams, yes. So 3 substitutes ready, waiting for the ball to go out so they can come on. But USA pressing for this second goal that will surely, at this point of the game, get them the win. We're back on track. Coming to this game, just 1 win in 5, which by their standards isn't great. Very high standards, the USA women's team.
England have got 3 quality players there coming on, and 3 players that can change a game. So, yeah, it seems like he's going for the win. But again, they're experienced, so they'll know they won't just go gung-ho. They'll know what their roles are and what their jobs are, what they need to do.
Challenged by Jill Scott. She points to the ball, says she got it, but she also got the player as well. And finally, England can make their triple substitution. So it's Joe Potter coming off for Eni Aluko. And the USA also making a change. So Crystal Dunn, only 22 years old, she's coming on for Megan Klingenberg. That's a straight swap. And England might just hold fire on the other two substitutes. Enioluka will breathe a sigh of relief that she's finally on, though. But the USA have a free kick, which once again Lauren Holiday will take. Pretty central position. Aluko just wrestling with Morgan Bryan on the edge of the area. There's a couple of England players go down in a heap. Easily picked up by Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, the free kick was too straight. If it's straight ball, it's easy for the goalkeeper or the defenders to clear. It's got to be more of an angle.
Just under 15,000 here at Stadium MK. Fantastic support in this friendly. Considering in 2011, England played USA at Leyton Orient's grounds and it was just under 6,000. And although the crowd looks sparse, it's been a very good noise and dedication to the Up Mexican wave as well. It's been nice to see. Aluko closing down, and already she's kind of gone a lot higher up, hasn't she? So she's at the point of the attack.
Yeah,
Frank Kirby and Jodie Taylor just dropping back just slightly.
Yeah, and he's moved Jordan Nobbs into centrally, which I think is her best position.
And the ball has gone out of play again, so it will be another substitution for England. Leanne Sanderson coming on for Jodie Taylor. She's still awaiting her first international goal. She'll line up for the Portland Thorns when the National Women's Soccer League resumes, at about the same time as the Women's Super League does. And we've also got Farrah Williams has come on as well, the England record cap holder. So she's got 134 now. Alex Scott loses out at the head of Abby Wambach. Farrah Williams sliding in. Put out of play by Steph Horton. Do you think Mark Sampson's changing the formation or sticking with it? So
I'm just trying to look. I think it still looks like a 4-4-2. I think Leanne Sanderson will drop. She'll be the deeper of the two up top. I think Enioluka will be the higher one. She'll play on the shoulder. She's got pace to go in behind. And
Karen Bardsley just punched the ball away from Abby Wambach there. A good decision by the England goalkeeper, who's been very solid. Beaten by a header which she really couldn't have done much about in the 25th minute by Alex Morgan. And that's the difference between the two sides at the moment. Crystal Dunn nodding the ball on to press. Now Holiday. Back to Engen. Out wide to Krieger. It took a while for the USA to find their rhythm in the first half, but they've definitely found it now. But England looking much more defensively sound. Just need a few more attempts on goal, really.
Definitely. They've learned their lesson, haven't they, from the Germany game. You can't go with 4 attacking midfielders against a top quality side like Germany, like America, like France. And you know, it's great to try, and it looks good if it comes off, but top players will pull you apart like they did.
Enioluka in behind the defence there, manages to win a corner. No, you're right, Mark Sampson did make sure, he said that lessons have been learned, and I think he's absolutely right. On this evidence, they have been.
They really have. They've looked, like you say, defensively much stronger, but you know, that's a sort of solid ground to build from. You've got that defensive structure. Now, can we do a little bit more going forward? Can we get more players forward and create more chances?
Corner to England, which Enioluka won. She's got Bright, she's come on, floated in, nodded away. Bassett's there, claims a corner. The linesman gives a goal kick. Boos ringing out round Stadium MK. Not sure what for, but good atmosphere here. Mark Sampson looking very animated in his technical area, with 2 hands on his knees. England have 7 minutes plus stoppage time to get an equaliser here. The Sampson's definitely shown his intent by putting on Sanderson and Enioluko. Wonderful challenge by Frank Kirby, getting around the defender. Tries to play in Enioluko, but again, well defended by the USA. Becky Sauerbrunn with the header out. But England have the ball where they want it, which they haven't had too often in this match, in the USA half. Enioluko finds Jill Scott. Scott goes down, and so does Carly Lloyd. The referee doesn't give a foul to either, but Scott has stayed down. Bit of a tangle of legs there.
Yeah, I think she's probably just got caught just above a shin pad. Be a nasty bruise in the morning, I think.
Well, she's up. She'll be pleased to have got another England cap, Jill Scott.
I think she's done well as well. I think she's had a solid game. She's always been there, just given the ball easy and broke up play, which is exactly what I think Mark Sampson will have wanted her to do. Yeah. And that little bit of height as well for the corners.
Tough tackling, Jill Scott. Definitely someone you want in your team. Definitely be part of a massive part of the Manchester City team once again this season, helping to the Continental Cup last time out. We must mention another player who we're missing of the Manchester City team, Tony Duggan, who is in a race against time to actually start the season, a knee injury, which is becoming all too common in the women's game. So many knee injuries in the Women's Super League. Here's Enioluko. Karen Carney with a chipped cross in, looking for Sanderson, nodded away by Crystal Dunn. Now Lloyd helps it on to Alex Morgan, and is fouled by Steph Horton. Really good hold-up play there by Alex Morgan, drew the foul, and USA will take their sweet time over this, I'm sure. Horton just gets a bit of a talking to. Definitely a foul.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think if you're going to foul, that's the best place to foul. It's outside, it's completely away from the goal, and, she just was letting her know that she's still there.
And it's the England assistant manager, Marianne Spacey, who's celebrating her birthday today, pointing out where she wants Enioluko.
I think Marianne Spacey, because obviously she's such a fantastic forward in her day. I think she's worked a lot with the forward play and the attacking play, so that's probably her role within the squad. I'm sure many more things, but that's probably one of the major things. And
Ashlyn Harris tries to keep the ball in, doesn't do so because the ball was nodded off, just came off a USA player, and Enioluko does well, and be another corner kick to England. Marianne Spacey hasn't had a lot to comment on. It's got up for a throw into England in terms of the forward play this evening, but a couple of lovely touches by Frank Kirby. Looks like she will play a full 90 minutes. Yeah. She came closest, of course, with that wonderful effort, drawing a save, and then Jodie Taylor's goal was ruled out for offside.
Yeah, I think most of England's chances have come from just individual brilliance, hasn't it? It's not really been a passage of play or a team chance. It's been more of, Frank Kirby's just got the ball and done something spectacular and had a chance. Same with Jodie Taylor. So I think they need to work on that going forward, how they're going to combine. And
just as we were talking about Frank Kirby, she has been named player of the match, quite rightly.
Yeah, well deserved. She's been England's spark all the way through the game. If anything was going to happen, it was going to come from her. So been a decent evening's work, but should have loved to have capped it off with that goal. That would have been something special. Still a bit of time for England, but they are running out of it. Not on their side at the moment. 2 minutes plus stoppage time here at Stadium MK for England to get something out of this game. Sanderson can't quite control Kirby's pass. That's a wayward ball from Horton to Morgan Bryant. Chipped ball over the top. Horton gets back to nod it away. And now Alex Scott into Frank Kirby. And England just keeping possession now. A wayward ball from Carney to Sanderson. Not on the same wavelength there. Enioluko working hard though to try and get the ball back.
But USA just look so composed, don't they, when they're in the face of such pressure.
Yeah, they do, and what they're very good, they do 1 and 2 touch passes, and it moves the ball quickly, so it doesn't give England time to, you know, to get across. So I think, yes, they are in a, you know, a transitional period, and yes, they're probably not performing as well as what they have done in years gone by, but I still think they're a force, and I still think that they'll do really well in the World Cup, and they'll be a tough team to beat. I don't think we actually mentioned the fact that they go away on camp for months on end, and I think that's difficult to, you know, to compete against when you've got a, you know, a team that gets together maybe once every month for a week, which England do, and then you've got a team that goes away for a whole month together. That's gonna, you know, that's going to help your team. It's going to help your team spirit. It's going to help your, you know, when you're working on different tactics, and I think they do it, and I know Canada do it, and they always seem to peak at the right time.
Well, that's the difference. It's a big difference. Alex Morgan, the goal scorer, has come off for the United States. Amy Rodriguez has come on. And for England, another substitution for Mark Sampson's side. Laura Bassett has come off. And it's
Jess Clark, my old roomie. It's like they're definitely going for it now, taking a centre half off and putting a centre forward. So whether
Absolutely.
they've gone to 3 at the back.
Well, losing 1-0, might as well lose 2-0.
Why not? And she obviously scored against them the last time, so
yeah,
she'll be thinking.
Let's hope she can, foster the spirit of 2011.
Do you think she hasn't got that much time, has she?
Not really. 4 minutes of added time, but England now have 4 players who can play as a striker on the pitch, so they are going for it, which is good to see.
It is, and like you say, why not? It's a friendly, you can try new things out, and if he can get a draw against America, it's a big result for him.
I would love to see a last-minute goal. You can see highlights at the conclusion of this match on the BBC Sport website and app. It's Aluko turning away from the challenge inside to Kirby. Not much pace on the ball, and Aluko forced to play it back to Horton. Horton with the ball out wide, looking for Scott. And Lloyd doesn't keep it in for the USA, so it will be a throw-in. And USA just eating up time with another substitution here. Kristen Press is coming off. She's had a decent game. Kelly O'Hara coming on for the USA.
Again, I spoke about England having a lot of experience and good quality players on the bench. So have America, haven't they?
Well, they've got, the amount of medals and World Cups, Olympic golds between them.
It's quite sickening, isn't it?
We need more of them. But I think England's going in the right direction, considering the last major tournament, the disaster that was the Euros 2013. It's only got better since then.
Definitely.
As Wambach tries to free Carly Lloyd. Alex Scott gets her body in the way. The time ticking away. I think Mark Sampson will be fairly satisfied with his team's work this evening, but still lots to be improved on. And not an awful lot of time to do it, actually, and as you mentioned, not much time together as a team.
No, and that is a major difference, especially in these big tournaments, because you get yourself, or the sort of sports scientist and the manager will get their team, like say, at the peak at the right time, and it's difficult when you only have your team for a week every month. Maybe one day.
It's a free kick to USA. Holiday right down the goalkeeper's throat. Barnsley will have to release this quickly, and she does. England are roared on. It's Jess Clark. Lovely ball inside to Sanderson, well cleared though by Sauerbrunn. England pick it up on the far side once again. Long ball in towards Aluko, but the USA just gobbling these up. Here's Sanderson. But look at this, for once it's England with the everyone in USA half, and that was a decent effort, but an easy one from distance, just to take up the shot count for England.
Shot on target, isn't it?
Yeah, chalk that one up. There's Jill Scott, tries to play the ball down the flank, cut up by Crystal Dunn. Here's Sanderson, returning to England after a spell with the Boston Breakers. Crystal Dunn makes a mistake. Here's Sanderson. Frank Kirby now, try and pick out a cross. Into Eni Aluko to the byline. Aluko with the cross! And nodded away by the USA as Karen Carney was lurking at the back post. Very good play on this right-hand side.
Really, really good play, and it was a good ball at the back post, and you could see Karen Carney was coming in. If it was Jill Scott or somebody a little bit taller, but you know, that's excellent play from England.
It's a good end to the game for England. They win a corner kick. Floated in, nodded away by Wambach. There's Alex Scott. Puts the ball in, Eni Aluko, a bit scrappy. Cleared by the USA, up to O'Hara, who clears it all the way up. Back to Karen Bardsley. And that's the full-time whistle here. So it has finished England 0, USA 1. Interesting game. A bit low on goal-mouth action in terms of from an England point of view. But a massive, massive improvement if you're talking about what happened at Wembley against Germany, Susan.
Definitely, and I think it was a more disciplined approach to the game. I think he had to do that because I think, like we said, he's learned his lesson from playing against a top nation and going all-out attack. You can't do that, and against a top team like America, he's decided to play a little bit more of a defensive tactic, which isn't him, because I know he likes to go forward and he likes to exploit those gaps going forward. And it was really nice to see that when he was 1-0 down, he didn't just say, we're 1-0 down against a top team, let's take that. He went for the win, didn't he? He went for the draw. He put on at times. There was 5 attacking players out there, so it's positive from England. They can definitely take this into the next game, and hopefully in the Cyprus Cup they can be successful and bring home the trophy. That would be nice for them.
It would be, yes, absolutely. Well, yes, step forward has been made. Thank you very much for joining us on the BBC Sport website and app this evening. You can see full highlights of the game shortly on the BBC Sport website, bbc.co.uk/sport. My thanks to Sue Smith. Thank you. From Robin Cowan here live at Stadium MK.
Touch retail, more than any of some resources.